Hello and welcome to VG Facts Video Game Leftovers, a show where we explore game data and promotional material to reveal content that was cut from games. Today we'll be taking a look at the 2008 action RPG Fallout 3, and please be aware that we'll be talking about the game developed by Bethesda Softworks and not the cancelled game by the original developers commonly known as Van Buren. Black Isle Studios, a subsidiary of Interplay Entertainment and developers of the first two Fallout games, originally began work on a direct sequel to Fallout 2. However, development was halted in favor of working on other projects, and in 2003 the project was effectively cancelled after Interplay cut their PC development team. In 2004, Bethesda Softworks, perhaps best known for the Elder Scrolls games, announced that they would be developing Fallout 3, and in 2006 they went on to purchase all rights to the Fallout franchise. With the shift in development to an open-world environment on a much larger scale than the previous Fallout games, the map designers needed to find ways to produce their game maps more efficiently. This can be seen pretty clearly by the unused areas simply known as bathrooms and ruins, which seem to serve as templates for quickly copying and pasting common elements into other maps. There are other unused maps with names beginning with Kit, Kit Office, Kit Vault, and Kit Metro, but since most of the maps using those pieces are all relatively unique, it's not clear if they were intended as templates for prototyping, or perhaps that the designs for those areas were originally more generic. A map exists for an area known as Potomac Steamworks. It's relatively complete outside from the lack of items and contains the same feral ghouls that are used in the Red Racer Factory. Another interesting area is labelled as Vault 101 Demo. While the name suggests it's a demo for the Vault part at the start of the game, it looks more like a prototype or an unfinished test. Some parts of the map are incomplete and the only inhabitant is a Mr. Handy robot. Interestingly, the map contains a copy of Tales of a Junktown Jerky Vendor, a book which increases your barter skill, and because there are only 25 of each skill book hidden in the game, it's actually only possible to find 24 legitimately. Although it isn't clear where they might have appeared, there are unused signs for the Bureau of Special Affairs and the Center of Extratypical Research, along with a hanging sign for the Halls of Tomorrow and Our Lady of Hope Hospital. There are also a series of unused signs apparently intended for the Citadel, and one that seems to be for the Federal Trade Bureau. Throughout the game, you'll find various types of robots, but hidden within the game files are unused graphics for unique faction decals. There are Brotherhood of Steel textures for the Robo-Brain, along with the details suggesting that there would have been a matching Enclave variant, although there are no matching textures. There is an unused Outcast skin for the Mr. Gutsy robot. There are also entries for an Enclave-themed version, although there are no resources. However, an Enclave Mr. Gutsy was included in the Broken Steel DLC. Despite being unique to the Enclave, there are textures for an Outcast-themed iBot and models for US Army, Brotherhood, and Enclave versions, but these are all missing textures. The iBot that appears in-game just uses the generic texture. Perhaps the most recognizable robot, the Protectron, also seems to have at one point had unique Enclave and Brotherhood variations, although no textures exist. Like the Outcast Mr. Gutsy, the Enclave protection was added with the Broken Steel DLC. Along with this, there are a number of attachments that went unused, including a fire hazard sticker, a laser warning label, a sheriff's badge, and a woman riding a bomb, which seems to be connected to Megaton. A series of numbers also exist, but aren't set up as actual attachments and aren't used at any point. Many items were either cut or modified throughout development. Some of these never made it past the design stages, but others were clearly removed much closer to release. Examples of items that exist in the game files to a lesser or greater extent are the pink variation of the T-45D power armor, complete with helmet, Vault suits for Vault 87 and 92, and both the Cryo Grenade and Cryo Mine, which were later retextured and used in the Mothership Zeta DLC. There's also a weapon known as the Cryolator, which is an unused weapon that would have acted like an iced flamethrower. There is concept art for the weapon and even an in-game model, but unfortunately it consistently crashes the game. Speaking of concept art, it's obvious that many of the weapon designs, both used and unused, went through several drastic alterations and modifications during development. These include minor details such as the Shish Kebab weapon originally being called the Shishka sword, through to designs for a ray gun weapon which included a live alien. There are also numerous drawings of potential Pip-Boy designs. These vary in size and shape, and even include a radical departure for a wristwatch design. There are even cut storyline elements to be found hidden in the concept art. At one point it looks like your father would have been turned into a super mutant, although how or why that might have happened isn't clear. It also seems that the Wanamingo enemies from Fallout 2 were going to make a return, in the shape of the mutant Wanamingo, although they appear almost entirely different from the previous game. There are many other details hidden away in the concept art, like early designs for the Mr. Handy robots and even people riding giant mole rats, so if you're a fan of the games, it's worth taking a look for yourself. Sadly, Adam Aldomovich, the man responsible for the concept art, passed away on February 10, 2012, but his unused designs and ideas are still around. I'm afraid that's all we've got for you today, but be sure to subscribe here on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and Twitter for future content. And for more interesting trivia, check out vgfacts.com. And if you like this video and like my stupid, horrible voice, you can have a look at my Nightmare Creatures video I just did. I haven't got a clue what it's got to do with Fallout, but who cares? It's a video, and it's really stupid. And that's all I really have to say, so,